This is the beginning of a 3-day solo trip. I decided to make this trip a solo trip because, quite frankly, I've had it with people, and a little bit of time alone in the bush is exactly what I need. Noon, I've got about 2 hours, judging by my fist, about 2 hours worth of sun, and I've got to make this a living space. I'm not camping with a tent. I've got my basic minimum equipment, which I will show later, but I've got a lot of work to do right now to get this place ready for the night. I really just want the fluffy tops of this stuff. Grass is much better, but I'll take what I can get at this time of the evening. A little bit of time I have to make a decent bed. Fire. I got in here kind of late, which is fairly normal, considering that nobody has a survival situation to 8:30 in the morning on a sunny day in perfect health. I had very little time to get things set up, but looks like I'm good for the night. Now for shelter tonight, I've got my bivy bag and a poncho liner, plus adequate clothing for the season, which is a set of... It is 2:30 in the morning, and I woke up kind of cold, and I had no more bed of coals, so I decided to remake our fire. I'm just going to let this wood burn down again. You can hear these bugs buzzing all around me. They're like giant flies, and so far they haven't bit me, which I'm going to take as a good sign, because there's a lot of them. Since somebody was bound to ask what blades I took along on this trip, the number one blade I take on every trip is a 16-inch Tramontina machete. I use the machete for just about everything, even stuff. If you just add "and Amora," you will be glad you did. This is the Triflex Craftsman, which I like very much. It's a little bit more robust than... I've been experimenting with the Atapuca trigger set to see if it could be used for something larger and heavier like a stone deadfall. This is my first attempt at doing this trigger on a deadfall, so this is really just experimentation to see if the style trigger works. In my opinion, this is actually easier to carve than a figure 4. I'll explain the trigger parts here in a minute, but let's actually see if we can get a shot of this thing working. Well, the voices in my head are telling me that it's Saturday, that I have to leave. I came out here by myself because I was really getting kind of sick of people, but the problem really isn't people. Yeah, it is. The problem is people. Definitely too many people. Way too many people. 3 days without people. It's really good. Really, really good. Anyway, in 5 hours I gotta go pick up my wife and be gone from this place. I will be moving back to the United States for 1 year. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching my videos from Brazil, and we'll see what we can do from Pennsylvania when we get back there. This will be the end of videos from Brazil for me for a while. And I hope you miss them as much as I will.